consecutive, what do I actually have to add? Well, I'm adding 1. I'm adding, let me put this down, sorry, it got smushed with the other one. I'm adding 1. To get from 24 to 25, you add 1. 25 to 26, you add 1. Okay, so you see the consecutive is adding 1. Let's define the variable. I don't know what either of the numbers are, but I'm just going to start with x. And I'm going to say x is the smaller number. Well, if I wanted the larger number, I know they're consecutive. I can add 1 to the smaller number because they're consecutive. If, like Abby said, it was 34 was the smaller number, well, the next one just has to be that number and then 1. So x plus 1 is the larger number. You add 1, you get the next consecutive. Those are your variables. Let's take it down here and actually solve it. If you add them up and you get 83, well, is means equals, so let's put it equals. 83 goes on one side, and the sum of them means to add up. X plus 1 are your two numbers. The smaller one was x, the larger one was x plus 1. Okay. If I were to rewrite this, you can just erase the parentheses because there's no number outside to distribute, no negative to distribute. Combine like terms for me. How many x's total do I have? Oshu? 2x. Remember, you can always put 1 in front of x if that helps you. You could write it like that. And then you have 1 left over here. It still equals 83. This looks like a better equation to solve. Milo, what's my next step? This is a two-step equation. I want to move the ones over because I want it away from the x. How do I move that one over? You subtract 1. Yeah, so we wanted the 2x by itself. 2x is now by itself. Those canceled. 83 minus 1 is 82. I'm going to bring this guy up here because I ran out of room. What's my final step? Silent hands. 2, 3 hands. 4, 5, 6. Kira, Bentley, what would I do last? Good. 82 divided by 2. If you're showing excellent work like Annalise on the homework, you could set it up if you don't know that in your head. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Two divided by 2 is 1. So x is equal to 41. You just found your smaller number. It wanted to know both integers though. What are my integers if the smaller one is 41? What is the larger one? Turn and tell your neighbor, go. Raise your hand. What was it? Liliana? 41 is the smaller one. The next larger is 42. Good. 41 plus 1 is 42. Those are consecutive. Abby, did you say 41 for your number? Or did you do it in your head? Oh, sneaky. I didn't catch that. You try this. 2 consecutive integers have a sum of 65. What are the integers? Box consecutive, box sum. Your variables are the same. X is the smaller one. X plus 1 is bigger. in case if we're like yeah. So you don't have to do it if it's all addition, but just in case there's a negative there, but change it. So I'm getting you in the habit of just always defaulting the type of your variable. Check with your partner really quickly if they got the same answer as you. Look at the board and make sure you are correct. TJ? What answer did you get? So 30, yeah, thanks for bringing that up. 32, sorry, that's confusing up here. The answer for the smaller number is 32. So x equals 32. You don't have to put 32x. The x is equal to 32. The next bigger number would be 32 plus 1, which is 33. So your consecutive numbers are 32 and 33. That is it. Yeah.
Will it always go in evenly?
Maybe. Let's check.
When I have decimals?
Oh. No, you always have a whole number. Yeah, for now. I was thinking you were talking about something else, like an even integer. That's not what you were saying, though.
No.
Okay, that's fine. You will for your test. You might have a gold problem that's like a weird decimal that makes you think about that, but no, I won't test you on that. Example 2 looks a little weird. The sum of two consecutive even integers is 98. What is the smaller integer? What do you notice that's different about example 2 than example 1? I underlined it and I shouldn't have. Maybe you weren't paying attention. What do you think? Even integer is a thing you're boxing. It's still consecutive, so we're still going to box that. Well, if I want even integers, they're even numbers. Give me 3 even numbers that are next to each other on a number line randomly. What do you think? Sure, 2, 4, 6. Let's start there. Write it here. If I have consecutive even integers, I'm looking at that, and how much do I add to get from 2 to 4? I add 2. And what about 4 to 6? 2. And if I repeated that, 2 to 8, 2 more to 10, 2 to 12. Cool. So I'm adding 2 here. Keep that in your back pocket. X is equal to the smaller number still. What would I use as the larger number? I used x plus 1, Mackenzie. What do you think? Because I want to go to the next one, I have to add 2. That is the bigger number. Awesome. Let's write an equation. It still says the sum. Cool. They want the smaller integer. I'll get to that later. Set up the equation for me, silent hands. What would I write for my first step, Peyton? Sure. I'm going to get you in the habit of whenever you have 2 terms, like x plus 2, put parentheses around it just in case there was a negative sign or something weird out front. If you also wrote it this way, that's okay. Both will work. Whatever you like better. Some people like the equal sign always being to the right. Bless you. Solve it. And I'm going to go with this one, Peyton. Is that okay? I'm going to go with the right. X plus x is 2x plus 2 equals 98. Next up, Jada, what would I do? I'm going to combine those. I already did that, so I combined like terms. I want to kick out the 2 from the house. Do you remember where we talked about the friends being together? 2 is being kicked out. How do I kick out this 2? Good. 98 minus 2 is what, Jada? You got it. And then bring down your 2x. Avery. Oh. Or it looks like a dead person. Dead? Alright, this is terrible. Dead? Dead. Okay, stop. Stop, Mr. MacD. Stop! Okay, 2x equals 96. How dare you, Avery? What's my last step, Jacob? 96 divided by 2. If you need scratch for it, go ahead and jot it down. 4 times 2 is 8. 16 divided by 2 is 8. 48 should be your answer. So they want something weird here. Tessa, what are they asking us to find? They don't say both integers, so you just have to take the x that you found and circle it. If you were to find consecutive, you could easily put 50 because 48 plus 2 is 50, but you don't need that for the answer. Sometimes they'll just want one, sometimes they'll say the larger one, sometimes they'll say smaller. Yeah. No? Okay. Try, wait, what? Oh, this one's fun. Okay. Not you try yet. We'll end on that one, and then I'll have probably tomorrow just be your bronze work, because we're going to run out of time, because I'm too busy drawing blueberry dead people. The sum of two consecutive odd integers, box odd integers, is 100. What's the smaller integer? Give me 3 consecutive odd integers. Random, just 2 or 3? Just any random, yeah? 3, 5, and 7, sure. Write that here. Okay. If x is the first odd integer, that's the smaller one, what would I add for the larger one? Turn and talk to your partner. Would it be 1 or 2? And why? If I want the next odd integer, think about it. How would I get to the next? 3, 2, 1. Heard some good conversations. If you think you're adding 1 to x, give me a 1. 2, give me a 2. Just at your chest, show me. 1 or 2, what do you think? Hands down. If I'm adding 2 to an odd number, it still makes an odd number. Just because it says an odd integer, you can still add an even 2 to it. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 plus 2 is 7. If I added 1, I would get 8. Is 8 an odd integer? No. So we don't want 1. We're still going to stick with 2. Even if it says odd or even, you are still adding 2. That's the larger number. Okay, so the sum of those things is odd. Let's add them together. X plus 2 equals 100. 2x plus 2 equals 100. Liliana, next step, please. What is left over on my left side, Liliana? Yeah, my right side. And what's the left side look like? Good. Final step, divide by 2. Man, these numbers are getting a little annoying because they're just big enough to where I can't really mentally divide them in my head. So let's throw it down to some long division. 2 times 4 is 8. 9 minus 8 is 1. Bring down your 8. 18 divided by 2 is 9. So you get x equals 49. You got one more to try with your partner before we pack up. And let me think about homework. Try this one, and then we'll pause on example 4.